If you're late, you get to the mess as soon as possible, grab your food, run to the class.
The classes start sometimes at 8:30 or 9:30 and they last till 4:30 or 5:30.
Student life at Bennett for me is hectic, but because I enjoy everything I do, it's fun most of the time.
We get free by 5:30. We're done for the day by 5:30, and after that it's our time.
So the mess is basically the hub of Bennett University. Every student after the classes, before the classes, evening time, be it day, be it morning, be it dinner time, you're going to find majority of the students sitting inside the mess, basically hanging out with their friends.
We keep on having events and competitions every week, so these things never let life at Bennett get boring.
When I'm just free, so I can go up to the music room to jam up with someone.
In the last 8 months, for which I've been to the hostel, I've changed completely. It's like I've become independent. I do my stuff on my own. Basically, I don't have mom around, so everything falls onto me.
It really helps me build myself into the person I want to be.
We have a football ground, we have lawn tennis courts, we have basketball courts, we have badminton courts, we have a swimming pool, we have an entire gym, and I try to utilize the max out of it. This is me, and this is my university, Bennett University.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Wednesday evening edition of Webinar with the Students, Student Diaries, where we discuss, organized by Bennett University, where we discuss about a particular program offered at Bennett. We talk about the curriculum, pedagogy, infrastructure, internship and placement opportunities, hostel and campus life, and a host of other activities undertaken at the university. My name is Anirban, and I'm a part of the admissions, marketing, and outreach team at Bennett University. And today we're going to discuss a very important program in the field of management, an undergraduate program which is known as Bachelor's of Business Administration, or commonly known as BBA. And what we're doing to find out about the university, about how the curriculum is being undertaken, rather than asking it from the students themselves. And for that purpose, I've got a couple of brilliant students from the university, Bennett University, Department of Management. I've got Kushagra Joshi, who is a third-year BBA student at Bennett University. He is from Delhi. And I've also got Japsahib Singh Ahuja, who is a second-year student of BBA from Bennett University. So welcome, Kushagra and Japsahib, to this session where we'll be discussing about the program that you're studying at Bennett, that is BBA. But before we start this entire session, I would just like to inform my audience and also my guest students today that the entire session would be of 30 minutes. And we've gathered a lot of questions from the prospective students who are willing to pursue this course of BBA at Bennett University. And we have segregated the most relevant ones, which we're going to place in front of you, Kushagra and Japsahib. And while you give a feedback or while you answer these questions that are being offered to you, the doubts in the mind of the students and also the parents who will be watching this YouTube live session or maybe watching this session recorded would be, answered. So without wasting any time, I'll jump to the first question, which will go to Kushagra, because you're a senior amongst both of you. So Kushagra, my first question would come to you. Well, Kushagra, while you had taken the admissions at Bennett University a couple of years back, we were actually struggling with this COVID-19 situation. And, we were not sure about whether the classes were on, whether it could go online, because we were facing a tremendous situation of human cry in the entire nation, or in fact, in the entire globe. So tell me, after completion of class 12, why did you choose this particular course of management, especially BBA? And my second question to you would be, after all, why did you choose Bennett University, which at that point of time only was actually 3 or 4 years old in the education system? So there are two questions. You can answer them one by one. Over to you, Kushagra.
Thank you so much, sir, for a warm welcome. And I would want to answer the question. So basically, I crashed into BBA. So why would I say that? Because I was a student who was never into going for the field of commerce initially. I was not of the view. Then I prepared for law for a year. I prepared for CLAT. I couldn't clear that because of a lot of situations. And then I finally was of the mood to take another drop year. Then my father found about Bennett University. He talked to my existing mentor where I was taking who was mentoring me for CLAT. He talked about Bennett University and he told that Bennett University is the fastest growing university recently. So it started very recently in 2016, but is being showing a huge growth and there is a lot of scope. Kushagra being a person of management, of having commerce, he has the skills of management and you should take him ahead with that. So taking that career counseling and a lot of things together, then I finally ended up coming to Bennett University and I definitely have an incredible experience here. So when I came here, it was COVID-19 had seen all the uncertainties before. Now I was going to a new journey and it was again, because obviously it had to be a roller coaster ride because for everyone it was. So when I was starting with Bennett University, very surprisingly, all of my mentors accepted me. I was a late admission though, because of the situations I'm telling you. But then when I came, surprisingly, all of my mentors supported me a lot. They liked me a lot and they loved me a lot. So all the people whoever was there, I wouldn't name anyone because all of them have been a great part of my journey. But yeah, this is how it went. And COVID, even though we were in COVID, most of us had a great time with the teachers. If you take interest, you are willing to learn. If you want to take the most out of the course is very good. The mentors are great here. So that's about my answer.
Well, wonderful. So it's a great start to this session, Kushagra. We've said that you had to struggle initially to take up, this course of BBA, where you had options where you wanted to go for law, but then you got information about Bennett. In fact, your father had got the information about Bennett, and then finally you decided to take up Bennett, and right now you're not regretting. In fact, you're enjoying your journey. We'll come to you, Kushagra, with the journey that we are speaking about. We'll speak more about this journey, and as we have, Japsahib with us, who has just completed a year at Bennett University, and same with you, Japsahib. You might have, done a semester online. And then all of a sudden in the second semester, we have started to welcome students in the campus. So the same question will come to you because you've joined a year back. So why did you choose this particular course of management? And finally, what it took that you have taken a decision that you'd be studying at Bennett University. So let us know why Bennett too.
Sir, first of all, thanks a lot for your warm welcome. And secondly, when I talk about myself, my journey throughout, in the beginning, I had a lot of interests after 10th in taking hotel management as a course. And I had a very passionate, I'd made my plans for the hotel management. But later, with some circumstances, my parents did not agree on that hotel management line. And they wanted me to go in the field of business. And they convinced me by saying that whatever field I go in, whether culinary, whether in any other, my main concern was business, which I agreed upon. So they told me that whatever your concern is, let it be your later concern, but focus on your main concern, which is business. So be on business or choose BBA first. So that is how I came to a conclusion of choosing BBA as a course. And talking about Bennett, I was very, like, as you told, the phase of COVID, as Kushagra told about the phase of COVID, it was very difficult for me, my parents, to decide college to take upon. And when I've been in a boarding school for 10 years. So that search of being so independent and finding my choices my own. But by the time I returned from my hostel, I returned from my boarding school, I'm back in my university, in my home. I see my mother has planned everything by herself. So that is quite difficult for me to accept by being so independent. But yes, it was just that COVID phase of 1-2 months which took me to come to a conclusion of taking Bennett as a institution. And Bennett as an institution, what I chose because of the factor it's back association of Times Group, and that is what attracted me a lot. So I feel that the decision of coming here has never put me and my parents on a second thought.
Right.
So that's
Okay.
it from my side.
Right. So wonderfully explained that you wanted to, go into the culinary field, and then all of a sudden somebody has guided you to be into part of business, and that's what excited you. And again, rightly mentioned, Bennett University, as the name suggests, we are from the Times Group, so there is a lot of trust factor that actually imbibes within the particular brand name itself. So thank you so much for a wonderful start, both to Kushagra and Japsahib. Now, Kushagra, since you've completed a couple of years at the university, so I'll place this question to you, which is more important right now when we talk about the curriculum on offer. So we know that there is a host of specializations that are being provided by Bennett University while the students opt to go for BBA. But then let us know, when does the specialization come? At the first year, what do you need to study, and how finally you choose which specialization is best suited for you? Then I'll come to Japsahib with the same question.
Thank you, sir. So about this, for the first 3 semesters, we study about all the basic management subjects. So we get the idea of, we touch all the specializations first. So we'll have a look on finance, we'll have a look on entrepreneurship, we'll have a look on HR, we'll have a look on business laws, business communication, everything we cover during the first 3 semesters, and we try to get as comprehensive as the curriculum is. So we get to learn foreign languages and a lot more. But when we come to the 4th semester, we have 3 choices. We had 3 choices, 4 choices, sorry. But now there have been 7 specializations being offered. So in that 4th semester, we choose our specialization. Honors is also being offered by Bennett University. So if I take honors, I'm studying 2 subjects together. So if my specialization, for example, is HRM. So with HRM, I'm also studying marketing while I have taken honors. So that is something which gives me 2 views of 2 specializations. You can also do that way. The specializations being offered here are a proof that BBA is not a degree which limits to you to MBA or limits you to go into the field of management itself. Data science is a new field. Financial analyst is a new field. Analysis, a lot of things are there. So these specializations give you a wide scope into the market and the corporate world, I would say. So yeah, that's about the specialization.
Right. Thank you so much, Kushagra, for the students who are watching us live right now, or in fact, those who will watch, us in the recorded session. I would like to add to what Kushagra has said about the specializations. While Kushagra was studying, he had 4 options, specializations, but right now we've got more than that. We have finance, we've got entrepreneurship, we've got international business, the much talked about course. We've got business analytics, which is again something which is a course for the future. Human resource management, as Kushagra rightly mentioned, and also we have added another course in the field of international finance and accounting, which is integrated with ACCA, which is as good as doing a CA. So these are the various specializations offered to a student who are pursuing or would be pursuing the course of BBA. So Japsahib, since you've just completed a year or so you had the experience of studying all these specializations in detail, maybe in brief. So what is your experience about the first year that you have gone so far at Bennett?
Sir, the perspective that I have regarding the curriculum of the entire course, and this is something which some of the new students, they contact me regarding their assistance in BBS. This is something which I guide them also, that the curriculum in the entire BBA is designed in such a way where you are not academic oriented, but rather you are personality oriented. We at Bennett here, we mold your personality, not your academics, because at the end, when you apply for jobs, when you apply for placements in the business field, it is not your academics at the end, but it is your personality that matters a lot. And that is what in the curriculum of past, I would say 1 year or so, I have learned, in which we have been told how to interact when interview, how to interact when team in a group sessions. We have been taught all these things very particularly. So these things are not which are being taught via books. And when we talk about curriculum, I feel in what Kushagra has mentioned, it is very detailed. But one thing which I would like to add upon, that all the most of the materials that is being taught to us are not very book limited. Those are all the slides are being prepared by the faculty itself, and they prepare in such a way where it is easy for the student to understand, being very basic.
I would want to add something to it, sir.
Yes, please,
So
please.
a lot of students on Instagram through LinkedIn have been recently texting me about this and have been asking what are the books we should buy before taking admission to Bennett University. So adding to what Japsahib said, please do not go into books much, because your teachers would be providing you with everything in the classroom. So they are giving you everything, whatever you need. And then we have Bennett Library. So in case you actually want to read the literature, please go to the library. You will get all books of all the subject matter, all the research you want to do, you'll get it in the Bennett Library. So do not invest in books that much for BBA per se, because the teachers have created a curriculum from various books, from various sources, and you'll not get it in one place. So you'll have to read a lot for that. Rather, going for that, go through what your teacher is or your professor is showing you. Go through that.
Right. So in a nutshell, if I have to understand what you both have said is, even though, yes, we know that when we join a course of management, we know that it's more beyond a classroom that we are expecting right now, because it's not limited to books. But then again, the special advantage that Bennett provides is, bridging the gap between industry and academia is very, very important. And that's where, multi-dimensional, what Japsahib was told, being multi-skilled, at the same time, your communication skills coming into play. You've rightly mentioned, Kushagra, wherein amalgamation of different writers and the books published by different authors are being taken into consideration. The PPTs that have been shown in classrooms are very, very important and are not limited to bookish knowledge. And that's why, when a student wants to study a course of management, they would be looking for these particular things in a university. And Bennett, I hope, with the discussions that I'm having with both of you, is actually living up to the standards of becoming one of the Ivy League kind of an university that we look up to when we want to study a course of management. Well, wonderful. So moving ahead, when we have discussed about, why you wanted to choose Bennett, what you've expected out of it. Right now, we spoke about the curriculum. We'll go a little notch higher, kind of where we discuss about, the guest lectures, the workshops that you're going through. So this will especially come to you, Kushagra, because you've already spent a couple of years. So tell us about these particular things that are happening in the university beyond academics, or maybe along with academics, where you are exposed to different scenarios too.
Definitely. So about this, there are a lot of opportunities we got through. So last semester we had a live project. So we went to an industry. We had a guest lecture there. We got to adopt a MSME, and then we prepared a project on it. So this is something where you're not only limiting yourself to books, you're going out, you're actually seeing how the MSME is working, because that is medium and small enterprises are actually today's, like, they are the future, and the present also, they're driving the economy to a greater extent. So while we went there, we interviewed people and we got to know a lot about it. There have been a lot of workshops for managerial effectiveness which would happen. Then there is this thing of community project we were given. So whenever we talk about community projects or internships, people just generally think that I have to go to a place, work and complete it for the certificate. Don't do it like that. Even if you are going, even if you have to go for a business, you're not looking for a placement probably. You want to go for a higher study. Take that seriously. That guest lecture, that workshop, that internship, that community project would actually mold you to become a better person and to have those skills, because talking to a senior personality or like a person who is at a higher position in an organization is something you'll only get while you do it actually. So how to communicate in a setup of an organization and everything. So that is something we learned during the BBA course.
Right. So maybe, Japsahib, we've completed a year or so right now. So if you can explain about what all activities you've done apart from academics in this particular course of BBA.
Sir, so far we have not we have not been faced any so far guest lectures, but yes, we had a project of community service, which Kushagra talked upon. So I would just like to elaborate. It is not just about the classes, but it is also a sense of this project in which we have been made to join an NGO and we work there and work with them. So I feel this is again a factor of what I told personality development. How to, how to get involved with the sense of being more a humanitarian with personality. That linkage of being a humanitarian and having a good personality, how that has a very good link. So I feel through the help of this project of joining an NGO called the Community Service Project would help us maintain that balance of being a humanitarian and having a good personality.
Wow, like great. So moving ahead, we'll talk about another important factor, where we talk about internships. So Kushagra, you've completed a couple of years. I'm sure you would be now more inclined towards doing internships. So let us know how Bennett offers you internships. So what are the advantages of doing internships? Because as we have discussed previously also, that BBA or management is kind of a program or curriculum wherein it's beyond classroom learning. So help us to understand how many internships would be there, if there is one. So what is the period of that, and what students come to know or learn about from the internships?
So during the course of BBA, you will be getting two projects which are in the form of internships. One is a social service kind of a thing. That's an NGO internship. The second is a corporate internship, the SIP summer internship program that lasts for around 6 to 8 weeks. So that comes after you complete your second year or as per the curriculum set. So we have placement services at Bennett. So the career placement service helps you to get an internship. Other than that, you can also get your internship by yourself if you know people, if through LinkedIn, a lot of things you can do. And if you want to grab opportunities, that definitely is on you. I would suggest that because me myself, I have done around 5 to 6 internships by now. That was not in the curriculum, but I have done that because it was easier for us. We were in an online setup, so we could do online, like work from home was allowed to us, so we could that way manage it. If you cannot do, at least do one internship which is stipulated to you. That 6 to 8 weeks internship, if you do with wholeheartedly, if you do it, you will get to learn a lot. So what are the so how should you behave in an organization? How should you communicate? What are the things which are going on? How do they take decisions? All these things are necessary for us to understand, because we do not know. After coming out of school, we are at a university. Now, this is the place where we have to learn and we become ready to go to a corporate world. So these two are the educational institutions, the school, the college. But now we are getting into a tougher world. So prepare yourself for that. Get ready that, okay, whatever comes, you are able to do it, because you have a mindset that set that.
Right. Wonderfully explained, Kushagra, where we spoke about internships. And in fact, you had done 5 of them, which is incredible, though at that point of time, obviously, we were going through the online mode. So this is a great thing that student initiatives plays a huge role. No matter how great you have the setup in the university, if the student takes better initiatives, there is a huge prospect ahead of the student to be successful in life. Now, when we talk about success, when we have spoken about, internships, when we have spoken about the curriculum, let me understand, this will come to Japsahib first, because you've completed just a year at Bennett. So you are pretty new into the system. So we'll be talking about the faculty members right now, which is very, very important. The mentors and the faculties actually shape the curriculum, in fact, the careers of the students. So help us in understanding what is the kind of faculties provided at Bennett, Japsahib, and what is the extra help you're getting from the faculties. And then I'll put the same question into Kushagra's plate too.
I feel, sir, this is a question being asked by a lot of students, especially to me, that how's the faculty? Usually the image of the faculty is that the teacher teaches you and just goes away. But here your faculty, F in the faculty stands for a family. Here, the way the faculty treats you is like a family. I have been very close to all the faculties. They have been, in case you need some personal assistance, they're always available via call, via message, every time they're available. And the first time when you have an interaction with any faculty is what they do is they share their numbers, the way they can contact you via call or via message or their email links. But yes, one thing that I would also like to add upon, that faculty is always available if you make an effort to be available to them. It is not that the faculty will come will have a conversation with you personally if you have a doubt or not. If you have a doubt, if some away from the class, you have to move to the faculty. You have to contact them personally. The faculty won't come to you personally. As a student, you have to make that effort at the end.
Rightly mentioned, and this is something, again, this is a learning for every student who's looking to study at any university, let alone Bennett. The faculties are good only when you become prepared in the class, only when you can come to them and share your doubts, because it's very difficult for a faculty right now when you're into a graduation and you're a grown-up child to come individually to each one of you and ask whether you're facing any problems or not. They do that, but it's difficult to do it day in and day out. So it's a responsibility of a student to more come to the faculty and then get what exactly can be absorbed from every faculty. Kushagra, your point of view on this?
So when I joined the university, it was as we all know by now, it was the pandemic. We were starting in the online mode. But today, what I know is among my batch, I have been the person who had that privilege to connect to all the faculties personally, because I was the student who joined late, so I had to go and ask to the teachers, how should I submit my assignments, how should I do it. And to what I said, surprisingly, the faculty is very welcoming here. So I would want to take some names. So there is Professor Anubhuti Saxena. She has been great. So she has been like a family to me. We have Professor Sangeeta Shukla. So Sangeeta ma'am is MBA chairperson, and she has a huge that Pandora box of knowledge, because whatever we got from her, then we have BBA chairperson Dr. Nidhi Sinha, we have Gyanesh sir, a lot of people, Nishant sir is there, Anjali ma'am, all of these people, they have been are the gems who have been given to you for you to utilize their knowledge to get a better perspective of even of life and obviously of career. So these people have a lot of experience. They have worked in the corporate field, corporate world, and then they are currently teaching since a long time, as long as your age maybe, and more than that maybe. So these people have experience of teaching more than of what you have of life. So believe in them and go to them with your problems. They'll definitely help you solve it, because I have had a great experience with the faculty. So that is from my side.
Right. So you've mentioned about life and career. We have already spoken about career right now. We'll move ahead towards life, and that is campus life. So when we talk about campus life, the first thing that the parents and the student wants to know is about the hostel facilities. So Kushagra, tell us about the hostel facilities provided by Bennett University, and what are the options that the students have when it comes to staying, and talk about the mess facilities too and the cafeterias. Then I'll move to the new student, Japsahib. So Kushagra, over to you about hostel.
Sir, about the hostel facilities, it's been great. So we have twin sharing rooms generally available for all the students, and every facility, every basic thing you think you will be getting there. You will have a bed. You don't have to bring that from your house. You'll get the basic things. You'll have a desk. You'll have a chair. You'll have fan, tube light is there, and even you have the AC facilities, you have the almirah. So these basic facilities would definitely be there. What you need is just bring your stuff to live there. Whatever you need more to make your life luxurious, or whichever way. So that is whatever is allowed as per the hostel guidelines, you can bring it all up. And there is all the hostels are divided into blocks. We have wardens for each blocks, and accordingly, when you need to go out or something, you need to take permission from them. For mess, so you have breakfast, you have lunch, and you have dinner. So that is the time stipulated for it. So accordingly, you finish your classes and you can go and easily take that. So that is there. Then we have a Maggie hotspot. We have Kati Junction. We have Chai Point. So these are the things where you can, buy whatever you want to eat, if you want to munch some snacks or something. And we have Quench, which is near the sports complex, given to you. So all these things, you can buy things as much as you want. And then we have the tuck shop also given to you. So if you want to buy packaged something, or fruits maybe, or milk maybe, or something of that sort, probably, you'll get it there. So everything is being provided to you. The hostel facility is good. Cleaning is being done on a alternate day basis. So that is, everything would be provided to you. So that is from my side. I have had a decent experience with all the facilities being provided. So it has been great.
Right. So, Japsahib, over to you because you're also staying in the hostel. Though Kushagra has mentioned most of the things, but I would want to know about the safety because we have a co-ed education system in the university. So, talk us more about the safety because Kushagra has spoken about the hygiene factors. Japsahib.
Sure, sir. After hearing Kushagra, I was quite confused. What should I talk about the hostel? Because he's covered everything so in such a detail and in such a understandable manner. But talking briefly about my experience in the hostel and the security purpose as well, my experience in the hostel has been quite, I would say, quite interested before coming in the college because, as mentioned, I was in a boarding school already for 10 years. So shifting from one hostel to the other was a quite anxious for me. How should I get it? How would it be? So yes, I feel it was quite easy for me. And the best part being working the entire day and just entering a room with the AC on was the best thing. Would make me happy. So I feel that was the best thing. Having an AC in your room was the best decision that Bennett has made for us for so far. So I feel yes. And one thing that I was very afraid of, I was always aware that college dal having very pani and all those things, paneer ke sabji mein paneer na hona, that things of having such stereotypes, I would say, after coming to Bennett, how the college mess is, because where my previous hostel was, that food was very amazing. I would say it was better than my home, which my parents even believe that. So I was very afraid of this factor of food. But when I had this food and my parents had it, they were like, Sahib, you are in the safe hand. So it was that factor. I ate the food. It was totally, I would say, it reached my expectations of having a good food in the university. And now talking about security, which is a concern of many parents and children as well. The university in the entire university has more than 500 cameras. The university has 150 plus guards in the entire university, which are located everywhere, and there is no spot in the campus which does not have a camera or a guard. So first factor of having safety is cleared here. Second, one, as a hostler, every parent has a concern that our student what is the procedure of a student going out? It is a triple layer check that a student goes out. That is first, when first it is your consent, that means the parent consent. After the parent consent is done, it is the warden check. And after the warden check is done, you go at the gate and everything is being verified. The student ID is being checked, and then you go out. So it is a triple layer security before you go out, and that is the same when you come in.
Right. When we've spoken about safety and security, another thing I would want to hear from you, Japsahib, is the fact of ragging. A lot of students right now, they want to join a private university. You yourself had been a part of boarding, so it would have been a little easier for you. But then for others who are coming from the comfort of their home, the parents are very much, tensed about what will happen. So your experience with the seniors, and what is your take about the anti-ragging facilities or ragging thing that happens at any university, especially at Bennett right now? Have you faced anything untoward?
Sir, one thing, first of all, before going ahead, one thing I would not agree upon, you said it would be quite easy for me to come to a school like this because earlier I did not have ragging itself, touchwood I would say. But yes, coming to Bennett, I did not face any ragging because first thing, when the place where ragging is done can happen anywhere, but most often where it happens or we hear that it happens is in the hostel. But when you are allowed in the hostel where there is a building just of your people who are of your course and your year, there is the possibility cuts to 50%. Next 50% cuts off when under every gate there is a guard sitting, and he does not let any of your seniors or any other junior also permit a senior to go in, or vice versa. So I feel this concept of ragging comes down. But in case by any chance if it happens somewhere, while a student takes admission, there is a concept of anti-ragging affidavit that the student fills up. So I feel when that comes in, because that does not have any linkage with the university itself. If a student registers a complaint in anti-ragging, it is a direct linkage of the government authorities and the student. So even the university cannot do anything in between that.
rightly mentioned, this is something again that I would want to place in front of all the students and parents, that when a student joins a university, especially I'll talk about Bennett University, they have to submit an anti-ragging affidavit where the jurisdictions are beyond the university level and goes to the hands of the government. So that is where, and again, being a part of the Times group, we do take students from a lot of screening and people from different backgrounds, but a very good background study at Bennett University. And I'm sure, as Japsahib has mentioned, nobody right now in the 6 years have faced any untoward situation when it comes to ragging. But then a friendly ice-breaking session would happen. That's where you gel with the seniors, and that's where seniors would also come to your rescue when it comes to academics or any other thing. One thing we didn't speak about the campus facilities is the sports complex or the sports facilities. So maybe if one of you can highlight about what are the sports facilities on offer and how a student would be enjoying, if a student is interested in sports on the campus.
You think of a sport and that is available at Bennett University. So if you think of cricket, that's available. If you think of squash, that is available. Basketball court, both like the inside court and the court in the open area is given to you. You have a football court, you have a badminton court, you have a swimming pool, you have a whole gym. So all these facilities are provided to you. So you have a volleyball court. So nothing is there which is not provided to you at Bennett University. It's only you have to utilize it. So if you are a sports person or you are willing to, you have that thing, we have a sports committee which takes students to play at various competitions and various tournaments. So that also happens at Bennett University, and the Bennett students have been outperforming in that also. So that is something which can easily be done by any of the students. So if you have that thing of sport, then definitely you'll get all of it. So you can spend a lot of time playing sport.
Japsahib, would you want to add something to this?
Sure, sir. Sir, I feel most of the things. I feel more than every facility is being there. Everything we have facilities are all available, and as Kushagra said, it is all up to the person availing it. And more than availing it, I feel more than a person who has interest in something, he'll always go there, and other than that, every aspect or every sports facility has an instructor available with it, and it is being the entire sports in the university has been managed very well. And I would obviously give this credit to our sports head, Mr. Arun and Mr. Vineet, and the way they facilitated, the way they managed the entire sports, I feel it's very incredible. And yes, but there is something, a concern for various students at this stage. I feel that the university has a very well maintained gym with an instructor in it, which I feel was not mentioned by Kushagra, but I feel is a concern for many teenage students, I would say. But yes, there is a very well maintained gym with an instructor available with it. And as concerned, there is also another gym coming up by the time our new students come up, another gym which is under making, and by the time even our existing students join, it would be ready.
Right. So we'll quickly move forward to the next part since we're talking about beyond academics. So let us know about the clubs. If you've heard that Bennett University engages students beyond academics, and if you have a passion, the university actually encourages you to go ahead. So talk us about the various clubs and how does a club participating in the various events via a club helps a student for overall development and progress. Kushagra, to you.
About this, because I am a passionate writer. I have been writing since the age of 13 or 14. Since then I'm writing. So when I came here, I also always wanted a safe space for me to get into a literary club or something. Initially when I came, I didn't think it would be there, but then whatever you name, you have a club for it. Whatever activity or hobby you might have, if you say yoga, we have a yoga club. If you say a literary club, a debating club, we have Cerebrum. I've been a part of it for a year almost now, and it has been a great experience. I have been part of Ansh, which is the drama society of Bennett University. There are a lot of clubs which, there is Panache, there is Silwood. So if you are an artist, if you are a dancer, you have verve, you have Rivas. So if it's dance forms also, then if it's contemporary, you have a different club. If it's traditional, you have Rivas. So this way things have been bifurcated, and it's very beautiful. So the way it is, if you are a enthusiast about books, you get book club. Food club is there, and everything and anything you can think of. If you are willing to watch movies, then Sunset Movie Club is there, to which screens up movies, and even matches have been screened up in collaboration with sports clubs. So this has been done. So a lot of things happen. Then like the student council is like under the jurisdiction of the student council, all these clubs function. And obviously dean's like dean student affairs office. So all of these are under these, but then these clubs have given their autonomy to have different activities for the students and for the students beyond Bennett also. So there would be events where students from outside the university would come in, and this would happen. So there is Alexis, there are a lot of clubs. So if I keep on naming them, there are around 25 clubs now in Bennett. So it would take a lot of time, but then everything you think of, you'll get a club for it. So don't leave your passion. At Bennett, you'll definitely get the time, space, mentors to take it ahead. So you'll definitely get the space for it.
Okay, so one last question before we wind up, because we are running short of time, is we'll go back to the academics part where we are discussing, BBA today. So help us in understanding the scope and the opportunities of placements in this course. And most importantly, what are the opportunities available for a student who would want to go for higher studies? Because I truly believe that only completing a course or doing a course in undergraduation of management, maybe BBA, would not be of great help if you're looking for a wonderful career. You have to pursue a post-graduation, especially in MBA or any other particular discipline course in the field of masters. So what is your intake or idea about placements and obviously higher studies, especially offered at Bennett?
So specifically about the placements, I am a person who would seek for placement after BBA. So that is because I want the experience of the corporate world. Then I'll go for my postgrad. But then this is something which is about when we say if I say that, okay, after BBA you can go for MBA, that is something very conventional and everyone would know. So I would not talk about that. Rather, I would say MBA is one thing. Then if you want to take placement, that is one thing. But then there is Bennett Hatchery that provides you, your space to have your own startup. The entrepreneurship students of BBA would have in 2-semester live projects where they will actually have to think of a startup idea and pitch it in front of Manish sir, who's been taking care of the subject. And then the entrepreneurship cell, promotes that. So there have been cases when the students from BTech, from BBA, and a lot of curriculums have actually got their startups established. So this is how you can go ahead with entrepreneurship, and BBA does not limit you anywhere. One of our seniors from BBA, she's pursuing her master's in data science. Now, if I would say data science, everyone would think, okay, this is a field of BTech, something related to technology, but it's not like that. If you have interest in that, just you'll have to work a more harder than a tech enthusiast. But then if you have the passion, you can do that. If you want to pursue in the field of business analytics, you can go for that. Marketing manager, HR executive, anything you think of, you can do it after BBA. After BBA, if you want to pursue corporate law, then you can enter into LLB also and then pursue corporate law. So that is also something you can do. The placements, if you want to take placements, it would be available through career services, as I've already mentioned before. And if you want to go ahead with your own search for getting your job that is you're passionate about something, go for that, definitely do that. And if you want to pursue civil services after BBA, that is also an option for you. Nothing gets closed. So after BBA, you are getting to a point where your world starts and it expands, and it would never be limited. So that is what is my take on this.
Right. Thank you, Kushagra. We started with BBA being a multi-dimensional course, makes a student complete. And we've ended in that factor. We have mentioned that if you want to do an IAS course and complete your UPSC exams, you can do that after even studying BBA at Bennett University. And you've rightly mentioned one thing which, we are proud of, the Center for Innovation on Entrepreneurship, where we have the Bennett Hatchery. And this is something which every student should look forward, because, Bennett inculcates the research and entrepreneurship methodology or mindset into every student, and that's the need of the hour for the economy and for the country to grow. So thank you so much to you, Kushagra, and obviously to you, Japsahib, for being a wonderful sport and explaining all details about this, not only curriculum of BBA, but we talked about internship, we talked about things beyond academics, hostel facilities, clubs, etc. So it was a great session. I'm sure all the audience who are watching us live and the students or the parents who will be watching the recorded session, any doubt they have or they would had in their mind right now have been explained wonderfully by both the students in this particular webinar. So with that, we would like to end the Wednesday edition of Student Diaries, where we spoke about the course of BBA, and we had two wonderful students with us, Japsahib and Kushagra. Thank you so much for being with us. And this is a piece of information for everybody who is looking to study the course of BBA at Bennett University. You know, the admissions are going on full swing. In fact, we are on the verge of closing our admissions soon. So if you have already applied at Bennett and you're waiting to pay the fees, and if you're selected for the course, I'm sure this session would have already, cleared all your doubts. So do not wait for the seats to be occupied by somebody else. If you are really interested, go ahead and complete your admissions. And if you haven't applied, perhaps this is the right time before it is too late. Make hay before the sun rises, and pay go ahead and study this course of BBA at Bennett University, where we have such wonderful students who are actually going to be the future of the economy as well as the country too. Thank you once again. And until we meet for the next edition of Student Diaries and webinar with students, thank you so much and take care and stay healthy, and all the best to every one of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.